10 ways to become a millionaire in 2018. I make a lot of money. I've been involved in business since I was a teenager, and I've learned a lot along the way. So today, I want to share with you a bunch of specific tips about things that worked really well for me, and that'll help you start making money today. Number 1, try multiple things. I put my all into each thing I did, but I always did multiple things. This allowed me to see what worked, what didn't, what I was good at, and what I may not have been as good at, and get a better feel for everything so I could decide what to pursue and what to forget about. It's insanely rare for someone to start one business or to make one investment and have it be massively successful. The most successful businessmen are almost always people who have been involved in business for a while and have tried multiple things. If you start 5 businesses and only one of them is successful, then hey, you're successful. Number 2, do things efficiently. I was making around $80,000 a year by my last year of college, even though I technically wouldn't have been working full-time hours. I woke up at the same time every day, worked hard as fuck for about 3 hours, studied for about 2 hours, worked hard for a couple more hours, and so on. No procrastinating, no bullshitting, no listening to music while studying, nothing like that. I did things efficiently. If I wanted to do something, I did it. I did that thing, not a bunch of other things, but that thing. I started on it, and I finished it, and that was that. Number 3, stop doing useless stuff. Texting all day every day, spending an hour a night on Tinder, hanging out with friends who aren't productive and don't have any goals of their own, going to 3 parties a week. Yeah, I actually did do this stuff at one point until I realized it was taking up way too much time. You don't have to stop doing every random thing, but you should make a list of some of the things that you do and figure out which ones you're just spending way too much time on. If you want to be on Tinder, limit yourself to 30 minutes a day. Limit yourself to 1 party per week. That's the idea. Number 4, do things quickly. I find it's better to just roll shit out and have it be a 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 to get it out there and experiment with, than to wait a long-ass time for a 10 out of 10. For example, if I'm making a YouTube video, I might spend a few hours on it. There are probably going to be a couple of typos here and there, maybe a run-on sentence or a picture with a watermark, and sure, I could go back and spend a few more hours fixing each little thing up, or I could just roll it out and then spend the extra time to work on another video. Number 5, save money. You always want to save a portion of your money, however small it is. If you made $50,000 last year and you spent $50,000, that's stupid. You need to be saving some of it, so if you have something happen unexpectedly, or if your business has a couple off months, or if you see something that you really want to buy, you can afford it. One really easy way to save more money is by using this something called Join Honey. This is a cool browser extension by our sponsor that automatically applies the best coupon code to your purchase. Every time you buy something online, Honey is the world's most popular money-saving browser add-on, and it works on Chrome, Firefox, Safari, all the major browsers. And the best part is, it's free. So, let's say you're buying something from Macy's.com. If there are any Macy's coupons out there, like a 25% off because it's spring, or a buy one get one free code, a free shipping code, or any others, Join Honey knows all of them. It figures out which ones will save you the most money, and it applies it to your order automatically. This is really awesome, and as soon as I heard about it, I installed it, and I've been using it for my online shopping ever since. And if you're trying to increase your savings, something cool I recommend is looking at how much you save every time you use it, and then putting that amount of money into your savings instead. So, if you were about to buy a $100 pair of jeans and Join Honey gave you a 25% discount code, then go ahead and put $25 into your savings account. There is really no reason not to join. It's basically free money. It's super easy to join and literally only takes you 2 clicks to download and start using. All you have to do is go to joinhoney.com/basedzeus. Number 6, don't spend money, invest it instead. I don't mean never spend money. I mean just limit your spending, since a lot of it is probably a straight-up waste anyway. You buy clothes that get stuffed into the closet and never worn, or you spend $800 on a new iPhone instead of just using the one you got last year. You spend hundreds of dollars on alcohol when you go out. You buy dozens of video games and then only play like 2 of them, and so on. Limit your spending. When it comes to investing, when I was younger, I didn't fuck with stocks or low-return things. I invested all of my money into my own ventures, my own ideas. Some will tell you this is bad investing advice, but I've never been a fan of playing it safe. Playing it safe is the shortcut to failure. I don't remember if that's an actual quote or if I'm the one who said it, but it's a useful tip. Thinking small, acting small aren't gonna get you anywhere. Well, they might get you an average apartment in an average neighborhood with an average car to drive while you wear average clothes and go to your average job before going out for drinks with your average friends who like to do average things before you grow old and die, and nobody really gives a shit because you are just another average human being. Or you can try something different. I highly recommend getting into investing when you're young because at that age you probably don't need the money anyway. So you might as well play around with investing it and learn some things early. So by the time you're older, you're way ahead of everyone else when it actually counts. Number 7, start a business. If you don't have any money, then get a job first and save up as much of it as you can, and then use it to start a business of your own. I recommend just jumping into it. Learn as you go. Don't try to read 100 books and consult with dozens of experts beforehand. Read a few books and talk to 1 or 2 people if you can and just start experimenting. Do stuff. You'll figure it out as you go. You'll make mistakes. You'll learn from them. It's good to plan it out, but at some point you just have to get into it and start doing. Pretty much all of my business knowledge came from actually trying things and figuring it out myself as opposed to stuff I read in books or online. Number 8, delegate. You don't have to do everything yourself. It's a waste of time. For example, I hired an animator recently to help with my YouTube videos. Sure, I could sit here and animate them all myself, or I could just outline them and get the main points in there, and let him iron out the rest. Doing it like this allows me to roll out 2 or even 3 times as many videos for you guys than if I did everything myself. So for example, if you're starting a website and you're not that great at graphic design, instead of spending 2 years getting good at Photoshop, just hire a designer to do that part of it for you. You can use sites like freelancer.com and Upwork to find freelancers in pretty much any skill that you need, from graphic design to web design to marketing. Number 9, passive income. Passive income is anything that earns you money when you aren't directly working on it. For example, if you invest in stocks, then those stocks can be earning you money while you're doing other stuff. Stocks are a relatively safe way to make some money. However, unless you're really good at picking them, you probably won't make that much. I personally buy stocks in companies that I really like, for example, Amazon, Intel, Apple, Netflix, and Google. I think those are the only ones I have at the moment. Amazon is my favorite, and I think they're going to keep going up long term, so feel free to jump on that. And then, if you get rich, don't forget to message me so you can send me a portion of your profits. Cryptocurrencies are another good option if you're into riskier bets. There are a shitload of them to choose from. But if you want to get into it, you should always do your own research because there are a lot of fanboys who will give you inaccurate info. Another point to keep in mind is nobody really knows how any particular currency will do. There are tons of people out there who will tell you they know with certainty, and they guarantee that Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever the fuck coin is gonna hit such and such a value by such and such a date. Oh my god, bro! Or they'll tell you they know and guarantee that it's a total bubble and it's gonna lose 42.375% of its value by summer. Nobody fucking knows. People like that need to shut the hell up. Don't listen to them. If someone who isn't a time traveler tells you they know, all that means is that they don't know and that you should ignore them. Get into it if you want, but keep in mind that they are a lot riskier than typical sources of passive income like stocks. Personally, I don't really deal with cryptos anymore. I think the extreme volatility is good if you have less money to invest because you can potentially make more off a small investment, but once you have enough cash, I recommend diversifying into other investments. You can also get passive income in the form of things like mutual funds and CDs and bonds, and all other kinds of stuff, but I think it's a total waste of time unless you already have a shitload of money to put into it. If you're making like 5% return, for example, and you put in $1,000, then that means you're risking $1,000 to make $50 in profit, which is pointless. On the other hand, if you have $10 million sitting around, then it makes some sense to invest, say, half of it, to ensure that you have a safe $250,000 a year every year income for doing absolutely nothing. Number 10. Things to avoid. Debt. Don't go into debt. Don't finance things. You know sometimes when you buy shit and they ask if you want to finance it, hey bro, this new Tempur-Pedic mattress is $3,000, but if you finance it, it is really only $100 a month. Yeah, suck my fucking dick. If you can't afford something, don't buy it. Most people are idiots who buy tons of shit they can't afford, and then they complain when they hit one hiccup because they have no money, no savings, and tons of bills for all the shit they've financed. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. Investing more than you're willing to lose. This is a big one. Investing means you're taking on risk in return for a possible reward, not a guaranteed reward. If you're old enough to remember the recession from about 10 years ago, you might remember all the people who freaked out about, I used to be a millionaire and now I'm homeless and living in poverty. Like, bitch, What the hell are you talking about? If you have 99% of your net worth in the stock market, you're a dumbass. Investments aren't guaranteed, so don't invest more than you can afford to lose. Personally, I don't even consider ongoing investments as money. I consider them as ongoing risk. I only count them in my money when I actually convert them to cash. Because I know there's a chance of them crashing and burning at any time, and I don't really care. If the CEO of Amazon is arrested and their stock drops to 2 cents overnight, my net worth might take a hit, but ultimately, it's not a huge deal. And finally, caring way too much about money. If money is the number one most important thing in your life, you need to take a step back. Money is not everything. It doesn't buy happiness. In my mind, money has 3 functions. 1, it allows you to live comfortably. For example, you can live in a comfortable house instead of a box under a bridge. 2, it allows you to buy things that you can use to improve yourself, like books, audiobooks, notebooks, a computer so you can get on the internet, and so on. And 3, it serves as a distraction. If I only have number 1 and number 2, I'm good. But most people get really caught up on number 3. They need money so they can buy supercars and new clothes every other week, and take girls out on expensive dates and buy expensive drinks and all that. You don't need any of that. Those things are all just distractions. They can be fun, but you should recognize them for what they are, and not worry too much about them. It always makes me shake my head when I meet someone whose sole purpose in life is making money, and they have nothing else to live for. Don't forget the stuff that's actually important. And that's it. I hope these tips help you. If you have any of your own tips, leave them in the comments section below. And be sure to install the Join Honey browser extension by going to joinhoney.com/basedzeus if you want to start getting those free coupon codes on all of your online purchases and saving money on all of them.